David looked at his daughter. Sophie, I trust you, but I also need to remind you that there are boundaries. Watching those kinds of movies can lead to questions you're not ready to answer. Linda added, we're not angry at you, but this is a serious matter. You're both still young, and it's our job to guide you. Brian and Sophie nodded, feeling the weight of their parents' words. After the discussion, Sophie and Brian avoided each other for a few days. The tension was still there, but they both felt embarrassed about what had happened. Their parents, now more alert, had decided to monitor them closely. Linda and David even talked about coordinating their work schedules so one of them would always be around when the kids were home. One afternoon, Brian decided to apologize to Sophie. He knocked on her door, and David let him in. Sophie was in her room, reading a book. Sophie, Brian began, I'm sorry for everything. I think I messed up by showing you those movies and asking weird questions. I didn't mean to make you feel uncomfortable. Sophie looked at him, her expression softening. It's okay. I was curious too, but I think we both learned something. Brian nodded. Yeah, we're too young for that stuff. Let's just go back to how things used to be. Sophie smiled. Okay. Friends? Friends, Brian said, shaking her hand dramatically, and they both laughed. Meanwhile, Linda and David were talking over coffee in Linda's kitchen. I never thought I'd have to deal with this so early, Linda said, shaking her head. Me neither, David replied. But I guess it's a reminder that we need to be more involved. They're good kids, but they're growing up, and the world is full of things they're not ready for. Linda sighed. We can't just shield them from everything, though. We need to teach them how to handle it. David nodded. Agreed. Maybe we should have more open conversations with them about these things, so they don't feel like they need to hide anything from us. As they talked, they both realized how much they had in common as single parents. The following weekend, Linda and David decided to have a joint family meeting. They invited Sophie and Brian to sit with them in the living room. The atmosphere was serious, but calm. Linda started. We're here because we care about you both. What happened recently was a wake-up call for us as parents. It's not just about rules, it's about making sure you understand why certain things aren't good for you right now. David added, we're not perfect parents, but we want to do better. From now on, we'll be more open with you, so you feel comfortable asking us questions instead of looking for answers in the wrong places. Brian hesitated before speaking. Mom, Dad, I'm sorry for what happened. I didn't think about how it might hurt us. Sophie chimed in, me too. I guess I didn't realize how serious it was. But we understand now. Linda smiled softly. That's all we want, for you to learn and grow. But remember, curiosity is normal. What's important is how you handle it. Always come to us if you're unsure about something. David nodded. And as parents, we'll work harder to guide you. We'll be around more, and we'll make time to talk about anything you're curious about. As time went on, both families grew closer. Linda and David started sharing responsibilities, like taking turns dropping the kids off at school and helping with homework. Their efforts created a strong support system, not just for Sophie and Brian, but also for each other. One evening, while walking home from school, Sophie looked at Brian. Do you think our parents are becoming friends? Brian laughed. Maybe. They're spending a lot of time together. Sophie smiled. It's not a bad thing. I think we're all learning how to be a better family. The experience taught everyone a valuable lesson. Parenting is about more than providing. It's about guiding and being present. Children need understanding and open communication to navigate the challenges of growing up. For Brian and Sophie, the incident became a turning point. They learned the importance of boundaries, trust, and leaning on their parents for guidance. And for Linda and David, it reminded them that raising children is a journey best taken together, with patience, love, and understanding.